Welcome to Crit Sandwich. On Crit Sandwich, four friends play D&D loosely based on our favorite movies, shows, and games. This is episode 6 of campaign 9. For this, our 9th campaign, we are a family playing through the plot of Jumanji in the setting of Ravenloft. My name is Casey Sears. I am playing Thomas Middlebury, a.k.a. Hogan the Savage, Prince of the Savage Land, son of Hogan the Crusher, heir of Lord Hogan the Immortal. Also with me tonight is Chuck Ventus.
Hello. I've come to suck your blood with my fake vampire teeth. And I'm playing William Middlebury,
Chuck is
who
now...
also plays Tolkien Middlebury. Oh, wait.
Tolkien Middlebury. Chuck,
Tolkien Thunder Guy.
Chuck had put in some green glow-in-the-dark plastic vampire teeth there.
It's what you do.
And 'tis the season. It's 2 weeks till Halloween. Speaking of 2 weeks until Halloween, Matt Popich.
Why is speaking 2 weeks of Halloween me? I'm just curious.
I just segueing to you. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, okay. I don't mind. I was hoping to learn something about myself.
You're a freak. Freaks and ghouls.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. No.
Well, I am Matt, and I play Gunny Kismet, and Gunny is played by Lila Middlebury.
And of course, our dungeon master, Robbie Ponder. Take it away.
Hello. Thank you, Casey. Okay, so main things to take away from the previous episode, episode 5, is that Teddy Bear told you guys that he has gotten bitten while he was sleeping, explaining the 3 bites as 3 lives. 3 bites, 3 lives, 3 lives, and 3 bites, and you're out. Also, just to note that every place on this map, every place on it has something for me to describe for you guys. And whether the party moves forward on it or not, on that description is totally up to you guys. So, like, if you feel like you haven't got to roleplay your character and that I tried to push you guys in another direction, then I'm sorry about that. And also, I want to give out more inspiration to you guys. But like what Casey has said in the past, the more you use it, the more I'm going to remember to give it. And there has been times that I've wanted to give you guys more inspiration, but you already have. I know each and every one of you has 1 inspiration already, and you guys haven't used any, and that's my max. I'm only want you to have 1 at a time. So use it. And I'm just going to go over the rule for this campaign for what inspiration is, because I feel like in the past we used it the wrong way. And so this campaign rule is going to be that you can expend it when you make an attack roll, saving throw, or ability check. And spending your inspiration will give you advantage on that roll. So like no rolling and finding out that you failed on a roll and then like re-rolling it. It has to be like when you have advantage on your roll before the outcome is determined. So it's not like the feat lucky. The party is about to go down and fight your first vampire.
Spoilers, We didn't know it was a vampire. Now we know. Jeez.
Oh,
Let's
yeah?
get ready, guys.
I mean, I knew because of this is part of the Curse of Strahd book, but yeah, our characters had no idea.
No, we had a good idea.
Yeah, I think you had a good idea because Ismark brought it up before.
Yeah, between Ismark and Donovich, the priest, between what they have said, it's very clear that the kid in the basement is hungry for something a little unnatural.
I would think that you guys would know before you like barged into a church that you would think that you know this guy is a vampire. A man is comfortably next to a warm fire that overlooks a beautiful lake. A waxing crescent moon reflecting on the water. The cloudy sky looking more of a dark purple than the normal black. The magic flames of the campfire cast a reddish glow on the man's face and chest. He smiles as he takes another drink from his bottle of wine, the splash of the wine echoing in the jug. He stares deeply into the fire, his source of entertainment. Two wolves out of the range of the light guard him. As he takes another mouthful of wine, he spits it into the fire. And the flames turn from red to green. As the flames dance and sway, a dark shape appears in the bonfire's core. It takes shape in the form of a man being knocked from his horse as a spear pierces his side. The wounded soldier staggers. As he walks away from the battle, he finds an unknown camp and collapses. And the camp members nurse him back to health and quench his thirst with wine. He survives the wound, and when asked who he was, he wouldn't say. All he wanted was to return home. But they were deep in the land of his enemies. The camp members took him as one of their own and followed him back toward his homeland. His enemies haunted them. They said he was a prince. Yet the camp members didn't give him up, even when assassins fell upon them like wolves. Deep in the bonfire, the dark figure standing with sword drawn, fighting off a host of shadowy shapes. This man of royal blood fought to protect as he too was protected. He was escorted safely to his homeland and thanked them and gestured his hand out as a way of saying, "I owe you my life. Stay if you wish, leave when you choose, and know that you will always be safe here, for I am the land." But at that moment, the figure in the fire dissipates as the spell ends, and the source of entertainment from the fire is now replaced with another. The man laying comfortably next to the fire now stands as he looks out of the fire and across the lake. He sees a mob being led by a wizard descending upon a vampire lord. And when the vampire turns to face the mob, his hiss echoes across the lake, and the wizard's peasant army fled in terror, covering their ears. A few stood their ground, but would never be seen again. The wizard and the vampire began casting spells at each other, their battle being heard from the cliffside across the small lake. The man and the two wolves seeing the battle with their own eyes, ears standing tall to hear everything. As thunder shakes the lake, as the wizard and vampire spar, and great waves trumble down upon the wizard. Yet, by his magic, he survived. The purple sky now lit as a light show of rainbow colors flash in the sky. Next, lightning comes striking down on the wizard, and again he stood his ground. But when the evil vampire lord fell upon him, the wizard's magic couldn't save him any longer. The wizard's limbs went lifeless, and his body was thrown into the lake. After the battle, the three onlookers climbed down to the lake in search of the wizard's body, to see if, he had anything of value. But the Lake Alpsea must have already spirited him away, because the three couldn't find the wizard's bones. Now our focus is elsewhere, as 5 party members claiming to be vampire hunters are going in for their first attempt to kill a vampire. As the 5 members entered the unlocked door of the church, it reveals a 10 feet wide, 20 feet long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall is unlit and reeks of mildew. 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, leading to adjacent chambers. And past the hall is the chapel section, where you see Donovich coming towards you, saying, No, I'm sorry, but the church is closed for renovations, yeah. And you guys hear it again as you come into the church. You hear it. It's a young man's voice. Father, I'm hungry.
Looks like steaks on the menu. And I hold my warhammer up to brandish my sharpened end that I made into a steak.
Yeah, I'll pull out my rapier and I'll say, "Last chance, Donovich. What happened to him?"
As you guys start coming down the hall, like there's this strong gust of wind, and it like blows at your face. It blows out even Hogan's sword. And for these seconds that light source is all your light sources have been blown out, the hallway that you guys are in is like real dark and it's real quiet. And then you hear a loud boom from behind you as the wind pushed the door closed behind you. And it's just this loud boom echoing throughout the church.
If all the lights are turned out, I'm going to cast light on my warhammer. Light!
And I'm going to say Rage Springa, so my sword pops back on.
Donovich, he'll kind of be at the end of the hallway, which is 20 feet away from you guys. And there are 2 doors to your left and 2 doors to your right. And Donovich is like massaging his temples on his head and he's shaking his head no. As Gunny asked him that question. What was it exactly, Matt? What was the question?
I asked him what happened to the kid.
He's been changed. He's been changed. Yeah. He's my son. I've been asking for an answer, and maybe you guys are it. Maybe you're the answer. I've been seeking. As he shakes his head, his extra skin on his neck jiggles around.
Yuck.
I don't know if that picked up.
Oh, yeah, I heard it. I'll look at Donovich and say, "We can do what you cannot, brother."
He looks at your sword and he's obviously. He'll begin walking towards you guys.
I understand as a father. I couldn't imagine how difficult this situation must be.
Donovich's head is down, looking down, and he's messing around with his waistline, and you see him pull out like a set of keys, and he's moving the keys around one by one as his head's down, and he starts walking towards you guys, and eventually he starts walking past you guys, and he goes to the first room on the right as you guys would enter in.
I hand Teddy Bear one of the flasks of holy water and tell him, use this, break glass in case of emergency, basically.
Yeah, right on, Teddy Bear says. Casey, how many did I give you? Just 2, correct?
2.
Okay.
What did he say? He sounded like a cat there. To me.
Teddy Bear, I talk from the side of my mouth when I talk about it, when I use his voice. Okay. So Donovich went into the first room on the right.
I'm behind him, following in.
Yeah.
Did we ever get a long rest in? I'll follow, but I don't know if I'm looking at my spells here.
So in this first room, the time and neglect has like really punched holes in the ceiling of this moldy room, which contains a few broken roof shingles amidst this puddle of water that's in the room. But in the corner is set into the floor is a heavy wooden trapdoor and held shut by a chain and a padlock. And Donovich has that key set, and he pulls out the key and he unlocks the lock on this trapdoor on the ground and takes the lock off this chain.
I'm holding my sword ready to strike.
He does not open the door. Then he goes out of the room and his head is down, and now he's holding his eyes, and he's mumbling of cries coming from his voice. My son.
Tolkien, Gunny, you got my back?
Yeah, I pull out my sword and light it ablaze and nod silently.
Let's do this. I'll prepare an action to swing if anything comes flying out that trapdoor with my warhammer.
So, Casey, you're going down first, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Your sword's lit, and
Mm-hmm.
Chuck, you're going down, and you cast a light on your mace, correct?
On my warhammer, yeah.
So as you guys open the heavy wooden trapdoor, you catch like a scent of death just rising and blows directly into your nostrils. Just a scent of death on the air. This is the basement. It's the catacombs of the church. And the catacombs have stairs leading down, and the walls are real rough here, and the floor made of damp clay and earth, as if the area was like carved out of the earth itself. And you can see candlelight from the chapel above. It slips through the ceiling, which is the wood floor, slips through the ceiling. And this room is 100 feet wide by 55 feet. So 100 feet as you go down to your left, so it goes long ways. And there's coffins that fill this room. And like even on the sidewall, dug into the sidewall, there's coffins lined on top of each other. Like as if this place didn't have any room to put these things, and just lining across the floor. And they're all made of wood, and some look very old and rotted, like even having mushrooms growing on them. And some of the coffins have fresh-looking wood as well. But there is a wall in the center of the room with two openings that lead to the other side of the catacombs. And from that side, that's where you hear, Father? Father, is this for me to eat?
Yeah, come and get it. I slowly move with my sword and kind of holding up high my two-handed sword, ready to strike anything that comes near me.
I will follow behind.
Yeah, I'll take up the rear, I guess. No, I'll be up front, right behind Hogan, with my hammer, my warhammer drawn.
Actually, I'm going to say, Gramps, what if you protect the stairwell so he doesn't get up and sneak past us or something?
Oh, okay.
Where would you guys kind of direct Teddy and Ismark to go to? Ismark's not going to leave Teddy's side.
Oh, I want them up, like maybe sitting on top of the trapdoor.
And holding everything down here? Is that like, so they're on the very top holding the trapdoor down, like standing on top of it?
That's what I say. Does that seem fine to you guys?
Yeah.
Just the three of us down here?
We don't want Teddy down here. We don't want to risk him getting bit.
Oh, yeah, we can't have that happen.
Yeah. Protect Dad.
So as you start walking forward, Casey, and your light from your sword is illuminating this room, you can see rats like around in these coffins, running around and getting panicking and like just afraid of the light from your sword as they run toward the other side of the room. And then you hear Doru again. This is too big of a meal for just me. Yes, too big for just me. Where are my friends? Friends, we have a really big dinner down here. And then you guys, some of these coffins just start opening up all around you. Let's roll for initiative.
Uh-oh.
Well, great.
It's a solid 5 for old Hogan. It's a good 2 plus 3 right there.
A 13 for Tolkien.
22 for the old Gunny.
22. Look at you.
Yeah, 19 plus 3.
So Teddy and Ismark, they're going to take their turns at the same time, by the way. Okay, Gunny, you're up first.
We currently don't see like the child, the kid, but we have other things coming out of the coffins.
Yes.
Okay. Well, whatever is the closest one to us, I will shoot a firebolt at, and then I will hide behind my big brother.
Okay, roll it.
13 plus 7 is a 20.
What's that damage?
2d10.
If you don't see the target, technically, but you know there's something in this coffin, but I'm just going to reduce the damage just a little bit because, like, the way the coffin's going to open, you can still splash your fire on whatever's coming out of this coffin.
Okay.
What was the damage?
Is there no light down here from the light of from Hogan's sword and the light coming from my warhammer?
There is, but I haven't described anything coming out of the coffin yet
Sure.
because I'm just picturing like the way the coffin kind of opens up. You know, like you can't see through the lid of it.
So you can do this however you want if you want to reduce damage. There is a mechanic for it in the game called either partial cover, half cover, or full cover, which basically adds to its AC, so it would get like +2 AC.
Oh, yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's correct.
Hey man, I'm just telling you. If you want to go by the rules, do that. If you want, so I rolled a 10 and a 4. I rolled 14. If you want to just knock it down a little bit, that's fine as well.
I'm not going to knock it down. You're right. I should just give the AC a +2. So from inside this coffin, Matt, as you hit it, you hear a kind of a scurly scream from inside the coffin. Teddy and Ismark are up top, and they're just standing on the thing. And what's going on down there? You want us to still stay here? I guess. Okay. Tolkien, you're up.
I hold my position at the bottom of the steps and I cast Spirit Guardians. And I call forth my spirits to protect me. And there are a bunch of little canes with tennis balls on the end of them, just fluttering around me.
Matt, where were you standing at in the room?
I shot and then I hid behind Hogan. So wherever Hogan is, I'm one behind him.
Chuck, I was thinking it was going to be a bunch of World War II vets around you or something.
Oh, yeah. Let's mix it in. We'll do both.
Oh, it's World War II vets, but they have the canes with the tennis balls.
They have the canes with the tennis balls, and they swing them around like they're little swords.
Hogan, you're up.
All right, so are any of these boxes next to me?
Yes, in your front left, there is a box that is lifting up. This would be the box that Gunny casted Fireball on.
I will pierce it with my blade and stab at it. I'll attack the box.
While he's doing this, let me ask you a question. Since I cast Spirit Guardians, are any of them within 15 feet of me?
There are none within the 15 feet.
All right.
I got a 14 plus 6. That's a 20 to hit.
Hit.
So that's 6 plus 6 plus 3. That's max damage right there. And that's just on the sword part. So that's 15 just for the sword. And then the fire damage will be 8 fire damage.
Yeah, as you come up upon this coffin, you can see this vampire in there. But I imagine you're leading with your sword first, and like once you get in range, you just whack your sword down upon this coffin, and you like wood chunks go flying everywhere as you hit whatever's inside there, and then you have to anchor it out. As you anchor it out, you realize there's this vampire in there with these huge canine teeth. It's a female vampire, and she's just hissing from all that damage that she has taken, but she's still barely holding on. She looks like, oh man, she looks like your blade went deep inside her chest area where you swung at through the coffin.
Well, that's good because I get 2 attacks per turn. So I'll just throw that sword right back in her face. And that is a 2 plus 6. That's only an 8 to hit.
Yeah, that first strike that you got on her, you're going to aim for like the same spot, but she sat up in the side of their coffin and you just hit right where she sat up. So she's sitting up now. I know you should probably just roll for advantage, yeah, because she's laying down. So go ahead and roll with advantage, right?
Oh, that's a great point. I didn't even think of that. If I were to roll with advantage, yeah, that's actually even worse. So 7. So my first roll stood. This D&D Beyond rolling, guys, not working out for me.
This one, like right in front of you, Casey, you're like 20 feet away from the steps. She's going to jump out of the coffin. Then across the room, you see another vampire. This one's a male vampire. He has some glasses on. You see his canine teeth too. And then there's another female vampire that jumps out, and there's also Ismark. So there's 4 vampires in here, and plus Doru. I said Ismark, I meant Doru. And so this one that's across the room, it comes next to this female one that looks badly damaged, and they're going to lunge at you.
Are they entering my radius? How far apart are we? I don't know how far apart we are.
They're about 5 feet. They're about 10 feet out of your radius over there. Because if you're still at the bottom of the steps, if you look at that map area, they're like fighting like to the left side of your spirit guardians walking around.
Yeah, I guess. Well, if they're entering my They got that if they're entering the area for the first time.
They have not entered there. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying they're about. I'm sorry, they're 10 feet away from your spirit guardians. Is what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
I know your spirit guardians'
Okay.
range is 15 feet, but they're like out of the range of the spirit guardians.
Understood.
Casey, the first one comes at you and swipes at you. It gets a 24. So, Casey, you get hit for 5 piercing damage, but there's also this nocturnal damage that hits you. You get hit for 6 nocturnal damage, and it reduces your max HP.
Woof.
Ouch.
Nocturnal.
Sorry, necrotic damage.
Okay, that makes more
Yeah,
sense.
sorry.
I was like, "What, are you going to sleep or?"
Okay, that was the one, and now here's the wounded one. It's going to try to come at you.
You said that was 6 on the second attack, right?
Yes. The second one is pretty wounded and looking to try to get you. And it swipes at you as well. A 21.
Hits.
So any regrets coming down here?
Maybe.
It's about what I figured up until the permanent damage. That's not great.
Yeah. I don't like that.
So that first one hit you and did that damage to you and that narcotic damage. And this one comes in. So you get hit for 6 piercing damage and that narcotic damage for 5 that reduces your max HP. And then you hear movement scruffling around on that other side of the wall, which is the 3 other vampires. And Gunny, you're at the top of the order. Your turn.
So I'm right behind Hogan. Can I safely assume that there's some sort of visible response to this necrotic damage? Like, is his skin turning black or something?
Casey, how does your body look when you take this necrotic damage? How does it look?
My beautiful bronze frame is covered in studded leather straps, and you see, of course it's lit by the flames of my sword, right? So it's like really extra golden and extra buttery. Now it's just like black and green around those slashes, just instantly spreading little snake light or little spider webby looking black stuff over my beautiful bronze frame.
All right, so Gunny doesn't know exactly what that is, but she's played enough Dungeons and Dragons to know that it's probably poison or something like that, disease. So she can't heal, unfortunately, but she's going to do 2 things to hopefully help us not take future damage. She herself is going to, I think this is the first time I've done this, use her blade singing ability. So she's going to start to kind of hum-ish sing, and she's going to kind of speed up and kind of sway from side to side and start to move her sword from side to side. And I'm going to get +4 AC for this combat. And then to help Hogan, who's kind of the tank in her mind, I guess you're right, Chuck. We did not take a long rest. So I'm going to use my 3rd level 3 spell slot, and I'm going to whisper to Hogan again in a melodic, just beautiful song, some words in Elvish, and I'm going to go ahead and use my action to cast haste on Hogan.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So would you like me to read haste for you, or do you remember?
Absolutely.
It's going to be okay. Yeah, let me get that for you.
Jog my mem.
Yeah.
That's short for jog my memory.
Ah, very nice. So choose a willing creature. I assume you're willing.
Very.
Until the spell ends, the target speed is doubled. It gains +2 bonus to AC. It has advantage on all dexterity saving throws, and it gains an additional action on each turn. The action can be used to attack with 1 weapon attack only: dash, disengage, hide, or use an object.
All right.
So I figure +2 AC, double speed, advantage on dexterity should hopefully keep that stuff off you. That's my goal, at least.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be my turn.
Okay, Teddy and Ismark's turn is up. They're still holding that trap door down with you guys as the party has been split here. They'll just stand their ground. Tolkien, go ahead.
There's 2 vampires right on Hogan right now.
Yes, 2 vampires on Hogan.
All right, I'll step up close enough so that him and Gunny and the vampires are within my spirit guardian to bring them into that area for the first time.
What is it if they fail? When they come in there for the first time, what's the...
It's 3d8 radiant damage, and it's a wisdom saving throw of 14 that they have to beat.
And what happens when they fail? One fails, the other one's just going to die, so I don't need to roll. If they failed or save, they're just going to die.
You're asking what happens if they fail?
Yeah, what happens when they fail?
Oh, they just take. They're going to take 14 radiant damage, and you just see. So I have World War II veterans, my old buddies, like flying around me in ghost form with their canes with tennis balls, twirling them above their heads, and you see one just come in and whack away at one of the vampires, and it just turns to ash.
I love it.
And it's radiant damage. I don't know if that does anything extra for a vampire. Or...
So, and I'm pretty sure if they fail their save while they're in your spirit guardians, their movement is halved. But that's what I was looking for you to say. But I wasn't 100% sure. So is this Tolkien's turn, him just moving forward?
Hold on 1 second.
What else are you going to do?
I'm just double checking. If there's still one alive right next to, if one of the two is still alive, I'm then gonna cast Sacred Flame on that one.
That's a save for me.
That's a dex save throw, yeah.
16.
So it had to be at a 14, and I did 9 damage on that.
But they passed. How much is it if they passed?
0.
Nada.
Yeah.
Save or
So
suck.
it's 0. It's save or
Okay.
suck, yeah. It's awful.
Token have anything else?
Nope, that's it.
That's how all cantrips are.
I know. I'll say, I'll shout, "Get 'em, boys!"
Hogan, you're up. You have this vampire in front of you with his canines looking at you. His claws are dangling and they're sharp and ready to scratch you. Your body is in your heartbeat is pumping fast as the veins in your muscles. They're like sometimes a reddish blue, but they're starting to turn to black. Your veins in your arms and your muscles. There's one vampire in front of you. As you know, there are 3 others in the room adjacent to you.
I look down at my wound and I go, this actually hurts really bad. But then I just strike like a viper after noticing that. Like I kind of snap out of it and I go into full instinct sword swinging mode. And my first attack against the vampire in front of me will be there we go. That's a 19 plus 6, 25.
While he is figuring out his damage, the creatures, anyone that is in the area, their speed is halved. I did look it up. Any affected creatures that fail the saving throw, their speed is halved.
Thank you.
That is 15 slashing damage. I got 2 6s again. And then 8, the exact same damage from last time, 8 fire damage. And then I will use my second attack, 10 to hit.
It's a miss.
I will use my haste attack to just keep on trucking. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and use my inspiration here. I need this. My first roll is a 14. My second roll is a 19. Does a 19 hit?
Describe your kill.
Awesome. Yeah, so I spring up after being slashed, hit him once, miss once. You know, we're dodging and juking, and you know, vampires I imagine are pretty lithe. But then my last hit just goes right through his midsection, cleaving him in half. And actually, can I use my? I almost want to. I feel like can I do like a real cool thing where I slash him in half, and then as I'm doing that, I pull one of my spikes from my belt and skewer him so his legs fall to the ground and his body's just hanging on a stake.
Sure.
I've got haste, all right? That's what else am I going to do with it?
Yeah.
Through the heart?
Through the heart.
As you cut him in half too, and you see that heart, it's still pulsing, and then once you stick that stake in the heart, that pulsing just stops.
Hell yeah.
That a boy, Hogan. That a boy.
It's my turn.
Okay, on the southern portion of where that entrance is at to the other room, 2 more vampires come crawling on the ceiling, moving fast, going across the ceiling, and come straight toward Gunny. So, Chuck, if you want to go ahead and do another roll as they enter your spirit guardians.
I do. They have to make a wisdom saving throw of 14.
One passes, one fails.
So I rolled 14 damage again. So the one that failed takes 14 damage and his speed is halved, and the other one will take 7 damage. And I guess its speed is normal.
So as these two start running in, and they move their eyes around, scanning for a target, and they lock on Gunny as they start going forward. But as one starts getting slowed down, the other one that's next to him just kind of slows down, and they stay together. So they're side by side, and they're going to change targets to Tolkien now since one is slowed down and they can't reach any further. And as they run forward too, the third one comes out as well, as you see him enter in through the bottom area, but he's going to hang out at the bottom next to some coffins. So they're going to attack Tolkien.
What?
19 to hit.
That is a miss, sir.
And the second one's going to attack you. And that one's going to do even worse.
Oh, you almost had it. You got to be quicker than that. I'll be dancing around.
So Doru comes in. Well, this one, I guess, spoiler, it's Doru. He comes in and he looks around. He starts pointing across the area as he's like doing an eeny, meeny, miny, mo of who to cast this spell on. And he's going to point toward Gunny of the original target as these vampires came in here. Matt, I need you to make a DC intelligence check, please.
Yay, baby, those are always nasty. Just straight intelligence?
Intelligence saving throw.
I rolled a 20 plus 4, 24.
Ooh, that's good.
All right, you are safe. Take half as much damage, and this vampire is able to read some of your thoughts that discerns the targets, like your general emotional state. So what kind of emotion state is Gunny in right now?
Well, she's fearful for herself and for her family.
Okay, you take 16 points of damage.
That is half my life.
Ouch. Good thing you saved. Otherwise, that would have been all of your life.
That would have been a one shot. Yes.
All right, Gunny, you're up. There are 2 vampires that are on token, and then further away, which is 10, 15, about 30 feet away, is Doru.
I don't know, guys. How you feeling here?
I'm gonna kill somebody. That's fine. Let's do this.
All right.
Matt, can you see if your haste spell is still activated? Can you do a concentration?
Own it.
Is haste concentration?
I rolled a 15 plus 1. Yeah, haste is concentration. I rolled a 16. So I passed.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, other than not 100% sure what I want to do because of, let's see here. Yeah, I guess. So if I've got concentration up on that, I guess I'll just keep firing away. The one that is closest to Hogan that he's been fighting, I want to shoot that with Firebolt. Firebolt, sorry.
He's dead. There's no one close. There's no one next to me now.
They're right on me or you? Me? Yeah, on me.
There are 2 on Tolkien, and then there's Doru, 30 feet away.
Okay. And they're in opposite directions? I'm asking.
What do you mean by that?
Are they all coming from the west?
Yeah.
The southeast of the room.
So both vampires on the ceiling and the one on and Doru are all coming from the same direction?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I want to try to protect Tolkien, so I'll try to shoot at one that's going towards him. The one that looks more beat up.
Okay.
All right. I got a 12 to hit.
That's a miss.
Alrighty. I don't think I have any bonus actions. Nope. That's my turn.
Tolkien, you're up. Well, actually, it's Teddy and Ismark's turn, and they're gonna just yell down, "What's going on down there? You need help?" Tolkien, you're up.
I am going to cast. Is Gunny right next to me?
No, I'm with Hogan still.
No. All right. I don't really got 2 right on me.
Yep.
I'm gonna say my spell. I'm actually just gonna do whichever one's the closest to me. I'm just gonna cast Sacred Flame on that one. Dex saving throw of 14.
What's that damage?
4. 4 radiant damage. Wah wah.
Mr. Haste, you're up.
I am just going to launch my body and thrust the sword into whichever one just got radiant and flamed.
Okay.
First roll is an 8.
Miss.
Second roll is a 10.
Miss.
Haste attack is a 17.
That's a hit, buddy.
Oh, finally. And that's going to be 8 damage from the great sword and 7 damage from the flames. I am actually going to use an action surge here too.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. If I agree. I think we're kind of in trouble.
Yeah, and I'm going to
We are?
keep slashing at that same guy. Well, Robbie keeps hinting that we need help and to bring our 2 teammates down to the basement for help, but I'm stubborn.
Well,
so
and I also got hit by. Well, we can't risk our dad. I don't think that's
Yeah.
the play.
But
I also got half my life in one hit.
We're fine. The wolf battle, guys, come on.
the first attack in my action surge is a 10. The second attack in my action surge is a 22.
That's a hit.
I'm doing just 6 damage with the great sword, 4 damage with the flames.
Describe your kill.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, so I launch myself over Gunny, piercing straight through with the sword, and then I'm swinging it around like a madman, miss, but then finally I get the licks in, and he's screaming and falling to the ground as flames burn his raggedy clothing.
Okay. The one next to Tolkien, I assume that you're standing side by side now. Hogan and Tolkien are side by side, and then Gunny's further back 10 feet.
And you need to make a wisdom saving throw, sir, before you do anything.
It fails.
It's 17 damage coming your way. I hope that kills it.
It does not kill it. It's still there, but as your spirit guardian is coming around, you see like some flesh ripping off this vampire.
Yeah, the spirit guardian that's doing the damage this time is just a dude. He's holding his cane in front of him like it's a Gatling gun. It's going, ah, 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 and you see the tennis balls just boom, 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 flying towards him.
So Casey, this vampire that's here is getting torn apart. He's going to take both his hands and his claw daggers. He's going to put them down to his side, and he's going to lunge at you with his teeth first.
Yikes.
22 to hit.
That's a hit.
You're going to get bit.
He jumps on you and sinks his teeth into you. You take...
Yeah! It's on me!
You take 9 points of piercing damage, and then that necrotic damage that gets you for 3 that reduces your max HP.
Zoinks.
Doru's going to do something. Yeah, so Doru's just going to try to run forward, and he's going to try to... Let's see what he tries to do. He's going to try to scratch Hogan. As he runs forward, he gets hit into the spirit guardians. He is fine. He saves.
Takes 9 damage.
Okay. And Doru scratches you with a 24 on Hogan.
Hits.
Okay, so you take 7 points of piercing and 7 points of that necrotic damage. And we're back to the top of the order with Gunny.
I mean, I don't want to drop haste, obviously. So I will keep concentration. I don't have a whole lot else I can do. I guess I did a poor job picking my spells because I'm looking at them and I can either charm wouldn't help. I'm out of 3rd level spells. And a lot of the rest of the damage stuff is concentration. I guess I'll shoot another firebolt at that same one they've been fighting. Oh wait, Hogan just killed another one, right?
Yeah, I think it's Doru and one other vampire.
Yes. So one got turned to ash. The other one was cut in half by Hogan. And then the other one was hit by some spirit guardians and was killed. And so there's one other vampire that's left, and then the other one is Doru that is left.
All right. Well, I guess we take down the mini ones first. Yeah, I'll shoot at the non-Doru one with a firebolt.
He's currently on my back.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Go for it.
22 to hit.
Okay, that's a hit.
14 damage. Fire damage.
All right. Has 1 HP left.
Nuts. I sneeze on him.
Well, it sounds like he'll die to the spirit guardians for sure.
Yeah, Tolkien, it's your turn.
Motherfucker. Oh, yeah. You know what? I'll just go for Doru. I'll,
So these guys take damage from your spirit guardians on the beginning of your turn, right?
beginning of their turn.
Okay.
He's pretty much dead on his turn, basically, because if he's. Did you say he has 1 HP left?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, he's going to die. So even if he fails, he'll take half of whatever I roll. I can't roll lower than 3. So
Checks out.
I'll turn my focus to Doru, and I will hold the palm of my hand up and like Tony Stark, and you just see, and I'll hold my palm up with my hand, and I'll take my other hand and pull it back like I'm about to shoot a bow and let go, and you just see this bolt of light shoot towards Doru. I'm casting Guiding Bolt, and I rolled a 18.
That's a hit.
And he's going to take 16 radiant damage.
That's right. That's your turn.
And that's my turn.
Hogan, you're up.
All right, so I got this vampire on my back, and now Doru is also slashing at me. So I will slash back at Doru.
And I will say that your next attack made against this target, and the next attack roll made against this target before the end of my next turn has advantage, thanks to the mystical dim light glittering on the target.
Does a 16 hit? Because I rolled a 12 and a 16.
16 hits.
Nice. Oh, there we go. There's some double sixes. So 15 slashing damage, 8 fire damage. And that was just my first attack. Second attack is a 20, 14 plus 6.
20 to hit. That's a hit.
And that is 12 damage with the greatsword and 8 damage with the flames.
Describe your kill.
Oh, hell yeah. So he's slashing at me, and I just go in twice with the greatsword, once in the chest, once just like through the mouth. Still hungry? As I boot him off my blade. And then I still have my haste attack. I would like my haste attack to just be a strength contest to flip this guy off my back and onto the ground in front of me. I rolled an 8 plus 3 on my strength check to get this guy off.
Oh, I bet you got him off.
Yes.
Yep. Nice. I'm going to get this guy off.
Yeah.
Just going to get him off so good.
Casey, you said you rolled an 8?
11 total.
11 total. He's holding on real tight. You're barely able to yank him, but you yank him off and throw him down on the ground.
That's my turn, as I hold him down I assume the spirit guardians to consume him.
So you throw him down, and it doesn't happen very often, because this whole fight you guys have been killing these guys before they've been getting their turn, but they do regenerate because they're vampires. They regenerate. So you throw them down, and you see some of these cuts and burns marks. The wounds close slightly, but not all the way. So Chuck, go ahead and roll that spirit guardian damage.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
That's laying down on the ground. Doesn't look very wise right now, as it's panicking, looking left and right as it fails.
It's 12 damage. I don't know if it matters, but
Yeah, describe your kill.
you just see the spirit guardians. They just like kind of they're swirling around the room. And is this on Doru that I'm describing this
Yes.
for? Or? So you just see them just like kind of they're swirling around the room, and they just kind of like dive down onto him, and you can just kind of see them like feasting on his flesh, since he's all about eating, and you just kind of see them
I already
eating
killed
him
Doru.
alive.
This was the guy on my back.
Well, he said
Yeah,
he regenerated.
This wasn't
Oh.
Doria. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I just asked that.
Yeah, I just already killed Doru.
I know I answered wrong. I'm sorry. It is
So for
another guy.
The non-important dude, they're going down and they just eat his body.
Oh yeah, and I'm as he's going down, I'm just staking. Just if there's any corpses left, any vampires left, I'm making sure they all get a stake through the heart.
Yeah, I'm doing some holy water on their eyes and on their heart and stuff.
Do you have holy water?
Yeah, we snagged some.
Oh, I thought we gave it to, did we all get some?
Hogan and Teddy Bear have the holy water. I don't think Gunny has one yet.
Oh, I thought we had gotten some from the priest. All right, sorry.
He gave them to me, and then I gave one to Dad and kept one.
Okay, cool.
If you want it, I could give it to you. It actually wouldn't be bad. It'd be a good option for you in combat, honestly.
I thought so, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you my holy water. How about we'll say that? And if you want to just not do the whole thing, but just like a few drops, right? And not use the whole thing.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Just
Can't we just stake them?
Oh, yeah, and I'm staking them too. So
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
just stake them while they're on the ground.
Teddy Bear and Ismark upstairs, all they're hearing is a bunch of fighting sounds, and now all they're hearing is. As you do those few drops of holy water, Gunny, can you give me?
Was that Hogan getting him off?
yeah, I got them off. Got
Yeah,
them all off.
he's
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's me staking them. Wink, wink.
Yeah, brother.
That's me driving. That's me driving some wood.
This is a porno.
He's impaling them, all right?
I'm impaling their organs, if you know what I mean.
Matt, as you do these couple of drops of holy water, why don't you give me a roll here as you're dumping this holy water on these? Probably perception as you watch as holy water sprinkles down on these vampires.
Perception incoming. 10.
Yeah, nothing really happens. It's just the corpses here are kind of smoldering a little bit from Hogan's sword, but you don't see any other smoke added here or not. I don't think Gunny would even know what holy water could do to a vampire, so you really have nothing to compare it to.
Seems fair.
Any treasure down here? Any like gold? Anything? Gold plates, gold candelabras?
We're looters.
As you look around on these corpses, as you guys start looking around, there is a hat of disguise, a ring of mind shielding, and there's one blood spear.
Wow.
Whoa. Yeah, we'll have to maybe in between episodes take a look at those. I guess maybe even. Do we know what they are, or do we have to attune to them? What are the rules here?
Also, how many levels do we find? We find some items, and then how many levels?
That's very important. Very important. I still find myself at level 6 somehow.
I'm still at level 5. Are we 6?
Well, here, if you guys get those 3 items, you get a level. It's like one of those campaigns of where like you gotta, progress forward on the main parts of the story, right? Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's
We
That's
refuse
nonsense.
to do the main part of the story. We won't do it.
What an absurd notion.
It's never gonna
it's
happen.
not an experience level thing, It's
Mm-mm.
it's
All
a go find those things.
Never.
level
Let's-
thing.
We will
Let's
never
just,
find
let's
this.
just let's just snag that stuff and head up the stairs. And I'll walk up the stairs and boom, 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 bang my fist on the trap door, like, "Let us up!"
Ismark and Teddy, they open the door up for you guys. It's like, wow, I'm surprised you didn't need my help. Whoa. Very surprised.
Absolutely no challenge, just like the wolf cave. No challenge. This is easy.
I was nervous.
How you guys looking?
I'm holding my hand over my neck.
Yeah, you got bit.
And there's a lot of blood all over me. I have 13 hit points, and my max HP dropped from 58 to 37. I'm hurting.
Wow, Hogan, they really tore the crap out of you and you got bit. Oh man, that's one right there. That's one bite.
I killed 3 of them, though.
Wow. I wish I would have gone down there with you. It probably would have been a lot easier.
Would have been easier if there were only one. Donovich could have given us a heads up.
Where did that guy go? Where did he go?
Is it gone?
He's not gone. He's just not in the room with you
Yeah,
guys.
because I think it's some bullshit too. He didn't say anything.
Yeah, I'm going to need to rest somewhere at
Yeah.
some point and get some serious healing down.
So what happens? Yeah, how do I? Do we know how to get your health back, or is that like permanent?
We'll see once I long rest.
Can I inspect his wound and see, since I am a cleric after all, to see if there is some sort of medicine or spell that I could cast on him to get him back to 100%? We can't be having a Hogan at 50%, even though he's good enough.
Yeah, so are you looking at it from your magic point of view, or do you want to do an Arcana roll?
Well, I was thinking
Medicine?
medicine.
That'll work.
I rolled a 7 plus 3, which is 10.
You know how to heal like the HP, but you don't know how to get rid of the blackness in his veins.
Can I maybe try with Arcana? Would that make sense or not really?
Yeah, that makes sense as you guys are all looking at his biceps. Yeah, sure.
I got a 16 for Arcana.
What is it? Isn't there like a cure disease, right? That he can get rid of it with, right?
Yeah, there's a cleric spell that gets rid of it.
You would know that there's some type of cleric spell, but I guess you wouldn't know what the name of it is. But he could also, a long rest will get him back to max HP, get rid of that, and we'll get him back up to his original level 6 max HP. A long rest will do that.
I tell the party that, and tell Hogan, don't worry, brother, you'll be fine. We just need to get you to a bed in a safe place. Don't worry.
Thanks, sis.
And I like pull at the wound and look at it a little bit and like recoil because I'm sure it smells.
We should tell Donovich the deed is done, and then do you guys all feel like we need to rest after that?
I think we should speak to Donovich and get some answers as to did he try and just trap us or not. And then, we should probably rest and figure out what our next move is.
I need to rest just for spell slot's sake. I am at full HP.
So you guys come out of the room and you're in that hallway again that has 2 doors on one side of the hallway and 2 doors on the other side of the hallway. And if you would go to the right, would lead to the main chapel area where there's a lot of the pews and everything is all torn up. This hallway smells like mold.
Donovan, where are you, you son of a bitch?
To your left outside, you hear Donovan. Ugh. He's outside. Ugh. I'm outside. What's up? He doesn't say what's up. He's like, oh, I'm outside.
You fat bastard, your son's dead. You should have killed him and shown him mercy. Instead of letting him turn into a monster.
Are you like standing there, or like you guys going anywhere else? Are you like you saying that to his face, or you're just saying it to the hallway? So do you guys move outside then?
I'm going to be inside, probably dressing my wounds, wrapping myself up in bandages, checking out this loot.
I'll go confront him. I have a soft spot for grown adults that don't do anything that they can for their children. And I'll just let them have it.
And men losing their sons.
He let his son succumb to becoming a vampire, which I feel is worse than death.
So is Tolkien the only one that goes outside? Let me know where everyone's at real quick. So Hogan's inside dressing his wounds.
I'm with Tolkien because I'm angry because my brother is beat to hell and we were not warned there were other vampires down there. So I'm there with my hands on my hips and I'm behind Tolkien.
And when he dips, you dip, I dip. That was stupid. I'll put my...
So Ismark will stay with Hogan and Teddy Bear will go out and confront Donovich as well. Token, what do you say to Donovich now that he's outside? There's a couple steps leading up to the church and there's like a stone wall and he's just kind of sitting on the stone wall with his hands up on his face and around his eyes are real red and real watery looking.
I just say, you fat bastard. How dare you let us go down there? We nearly got killed. Your son's dead, by the way. We did what you could not.
I guess thanks for killing them. You claim to be vampire hunters. Did you not know what you're getting yourself into? It wasn't my fault or yours. What?
Where did those other ones come from? Have you been feeding him?
Uh, yeah. Uh, yes, I've been feeding them. He's my son, and I've wanted what's best for him, and I've been. Yes, I've to keep him alive. He claims to be hungry, and I mean, what other father would do if their children are starving? You would feed them, right? It's just he came back from some type of raid, and when they came back from the raid, they were seeking shelter, and I let them in, and they moved into the basement, and I would provide for them. I would give them food.
Hogan, are you hearing this? Is he close enough to hear that?
No.
All right. Well, I yelled Hogan, or I want him in here.
All right, I run out to the yard, sword in hand, thinking something's wrong.
Well, it kind of is.
Ismark's behind me.
Yeah, and I'll say he's been luring people to their deaths by bringing them down there, homeless people that had no other place to go, and he's been feeding them to his son.
Oh, I didn't say I was luring people here. I mean, maybe, but it was just a couple there. After some of the corpses here were drained of their blood that were already dead, and I could only find so many pigs and rats around, and it's just I don't. One is too many. Yes, yes.
I point my sword towards the priest, and I say, Ismark, brother, what's the law say about scum like this guy?
Yeah, I have my sword out too at this point.
Oh, he puts his hands up. Oh, please. I see now. The error of my ways. I can turn away from them. Please. Ismark, if anyone knows to turn away from bad things and second chances, it's you, Ismark. Come on. And Ismark stands there with his arms crossed and kind of nods his head, and then he begins to say, so these are vampires from Strahd, and you lumped them into the catacombs and fed them here?
You desecrated a holy place.
I know. It's Strahd's fault. He purposely did that. He purposely tries to corrupt people, and now I realize he did it to me. He corrupted me. That's why he brought my son here to corrupt me. That's why. Just I don't know anymore. But my son is gone, and what would be my purpose now? I don't know. My only son.
Yeah, I want to know what Ismark says about the law, because if there's no law and this kind of stuff, I might be dust in the sky. But if there's a constable or something we can take him to, then I want to do that.
Yeah, sure. Ismark will begin talking about the law and mumbling as he's talking about it. We can take him to a constable or whatnot from the main town area where the hall is at, yes, and then we can do these other things. But as he starts talking like that, you guys start hearing, as when Teddy Bear did his big reveal, as this sound echoed throughout this city area around you guys start to hear this other sound that starts echoing. Chuck, can you make that sound for me, please, that you've been doing before?
Boom, 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 boom. Just put it on a loop. Boom, 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 boom.
And as you guys are all standing outside, and it's dark out here, and you have those dark clouds that keep circling around and everywhere, and there's a lightning bolt that strikes about 50 feet away from you guys, and then there's another lightning bolt that strikes down at the front of the church, and some rocks start crumbling down, and it blocks the entranceway of the church. And where this first lightning bolt struck down, it's 50 feet away, you see the shadowy black-robed figure kneel and begins to stand. You see the outline of a person in a long black cloak. The arm is up to the elbow and bent, and the forearm covering the lower section of the face. But above the forearm, you see eyes glowing red. And the redness in the eyes begins to fade away. And the redness is gone. This figure, having his arm blocking half the face, throws the hand back and cloak back. And you see Strahd fully for the first time. And it's not what you expected. First, you notice that Strahd is not a male. You see the curves of a female. Long, dark hair with blonde highlights, dark-colored jeans that have decorative holes with long fabric strings that lag behind her when she walks. A blood-red button-up shirt with gold trim. A necklace holding a wedding band. And as lightning strikes a web pattern in the sky, Strahd, tilting her head back slightly back, and begins to chuckle. And while that lightning strikes, the peaks of her face get bathed in the lightning. So you see the face of Tracy, looking of power and of madness, a face contorted by a tragedy darker than the night itself. But most importantly, you see Strahd wearing a crooked, evil smile.
Mom?
No!
I sometimes begin with a question at the beginning of an episode, but I'm going to end this episode with some questions. Now, Casey, when you got that tome of Strahd, can you read the first couple sentences when you got the tome?
Strahd's diary said, I am the ancient, I am the land. My beginnings are lost in the darkness of the past. I was the warrior, I was good and just. I thundered across the land as the wrath of a courageous conqueror. But the war years and the killing years wore down on my soul as the wind wears stone into sand.
Yeah, so main part from there is Strahd's diary says, I am the ancient, I am the land. Now, Matt, my question for you is when you're a DM and you're creating your world and you're writing everything down and all that stuff comes from your mind, right? And is the dungeon master does he not become the land if he's writing it from his notes, like from his mind?
I guess in a way.
World building.
So, Chuck, if in Strahd's diary it says, I am the ancient, I am the land, and Tracy is the dungeon master, then is it not fitting for Tracy to be Strahd?
No.
Yeah, it makes sense now that you think about it.
I buy it.
It's a game. It's a game. Are we in the Matrix? What the hell's going on here?
All right, I think we're done.
We're going to have to kill our mom to save our mom.
Or
Or we're going to have to get our dad to kill our mom.
Or kill our mom to kill our mom. I don't know.
You kill the
There's some real
mom.
Freudian
to
stuff
kill
in
the
here.
dad.
I think you're coming out of this with no parents, kids. Let's have that talk.
All right, I'm going to kill the recording.